These are some of the first specimens of cut gemstones. This is today the worldwide debut of Malawi Magenta Garnets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to another unboxing. Today I have a very special guest with me. This is Jaimeen. He is a third generation gem dealer and a gem expert, and he has brought some really cool stuff for us to see today. All right, let's get started.
Sounds good. There you go.
Okay, well I can't see what it is, but I see that it says garnet. It's Malawi garnet. Oh! Okay, these are beautiful.
What you're going to see here, Sarah, is actually a brand new find of gemstones. They're called Malawi Magenta Garnets. Magenta being the keyword here because this is actually the first ever mix of gemstones that actually has a pure magenta color to it. One of the rarer colors in the gemstone world in general, but with the garnet, it's just unheard of. You see that beautiful, beautiful texture of blue, purples, lots of pinks coming out of it. Just incredible, incredible luster and brilliance.
These faceted stones right there, they're so clean.
Exactly. So these gemstones actually come in various shapes and sizes. As you can see, this is kind of the biggest of the production. And when I throw these rough pieces out there, you'll see how incredibly vibrant, incredibly saturated these gemstones are.
Yeah. So you say this is a new gem discovery.
Absolutely.
So how recent is it?
We were actually told about this in September 2023 at the Hong Kong show. This mine was on below a cornfield. So these corn farmers were just plowing their field and suddenly see these little magenta colored drops of basically this come out of their plowing, and they're like, wow, what we discover? And my partner and I bought into this mine from there and have been producing gemstones. We've produced about a few hundred kilos. And
oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I can't imagine just going outside where I work every day and then finding this and then finding out that it's completely new.
It's absolutely brilliantly new because what's beautiful, and that's why I'm collecting them together, is you will see that cranberry magenta color to the gemstones. It's a very unique product in its color. Very, very rarely do you see a gemstone discovery that actually changes a color palette or increases the collectability of a gemstone because a new color is being introduced. And that's what happened with Magenta Garnet.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
What you're looking at is a sugarloaf cabochon, which is, I love that shape. I love how it's like so soft. Even the angles of the gemstone itself are very soft and cut as if it's a sugarloaf or a pillow. It's only been 6 months and we've produced about 200 kilos of rough. And that might sound like a lot of rough, but really out of that about 1 or 2% is actually this gem quality. Otherwise, the rest of it is just big boulders of purple, completely fractured or completely included. You can't do much with it. Yeah.
And how big are these pieces of rough that you're finding?
99% of the rough is this or smaller.
Wow.
So this is your production of 99% of the material.
Okay.
This is like literally a few hundred grams, maybe a kilo out of 200 kilos produce this particular size right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So otherwise you see a lot of small material, which is incredible as well. It's very, very pretty. You don't get huge sizes, which is why garnets are so rare. When they become this big and beautiful, they are very, very valuable.
In these smaller ones, I'm noticing a little bit more of the pink is stronger here. And whereas here, I think you do see a lot more of that purple magenta.
Exactly. The colors kind of vary with saturation as they get bigger. And once you cut them, you'll see the same thing. You'll see a little bit more of a pinker tone with the smaller stones and a little bit more of the darker tone with the bigger stones. What's great is that even if it gets this small, it still has its vibrancy. It still retains its saturation. Unlike a tanzanite or an amethyst where you don't really see deep colors when it gets smaller, these gemstones actually hold their color.
I think something that I love about stones that have a lot of different undertones, like this one with the more pinker parts and the more purple parts, is that when you cut it like this, you can just move it around and catch a different color.
Exactly.
Each way.
It's got a kaleidoscope of
Yeah.
a red, pink, purple, a little bit of a hint of blue even. Such character to them. They just have so much to offer because every time you look at them in a different light, it has different texture altogether.
Do they come out of the ground looking like this, or are they treated to get this color?
Actually, with garnets, in 90%, 95% of the cases, that maybe demantite might be the only anomaly. Most garnets cannot be treated to enhance them. So this is actually the way they come out.
What you're saying is these are 100% natural.
Exactly. This is the rough. This is how it came out of the ground. This is how Mother Nature produced it. And this is exactly how it is.
Wow. It's been less than a year since you invested in the mine to when we have this here.
Absolutely. Another incredible feat that we've achieved as gemstone dealers back in the day would be years, if not decades, before a discovery actually made it to the market. And forget being on TV that quickly, that it's just like a 6-month period between a discovery of a gemstone and the worldwide debut of that gemstone.
Again, Malawi Magenta Garnet. So can you tell me a little bit about the area that you find this?
Absolutely. That's it's a very remote location. It's called Natenje in Malawi, where these gemstones are formed. We've never heard of or seen important gemstones coming out of Malawi. So this potentially would be the new find of Malawi. And if my predictions are right, this will create a sort of gem rush in that region now that this gemstone has been debuted.
Oh, wow. So let's talk about how rare something like this or this is, because you're saying 1 to 2% of what you find is gem quality.
That's true.
And then what percentage of that gem quality material would be this large and this clean?
I want to say, Sarah, that this is probably as big as I've ever seen them come out. So this is probably the biggest specimens I have brought to you right now. Is a very big percentage of some of the largest gemstones produced with mine.
Wow.
Yeah. At this current juncture of time, this is absolutely the best of the best, the biggest. And even if you see right here, if you compare the rough to the gemstone, cut gemstones right next to it, this rough will now lose about 80% of its size before it becomes a final cut gemstone. So you can imagine how big a piece of rough this gemstone came out of.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't think of that either.
Yeah, so to give you perspective, that 200 kilos of rough most likely moved about 2 tons, maybe more, of host rock, the granite rock, before we got 200 kilos of cut stones, and we probably get about maybe a few thousand carats of cut stones out of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Can we see the next box?
Sounds great. There you go.
Okay, more bags.
So what I wanted to do for you, Sarah, is to show you actually where the magenta garnet sits in the spectrum of all the garnets that are out there. So I brought you some rhodolite garnet, your traditional rhodolite garnet, and I also brought you some of the grape color garnet, which is a famous garnet that we sell at JTV all the time. And you can see how the magenta garnet kind of sits in the center of the two. Not too purple with the grape and not too red like the rhodolite. And it'll give you a good comparison of what a regular rhodolite looks like and what magenta, the new fan of magenta, looks like. Garnets are 7.5 in hardness, which makes them so durable. You can wear them as an everyday gemstone.
And the magenta, I was thinking with it, kind of going between the purple and the pink, that would be great for earrings.
Yeah, my friend calls it like the color of passion. It's like such a warm but passionate color, magenta, that's how he describes this.
Okay, so this is rhodolite.
Yes.
This is grape garnet. And then this is the new magenta garnet.
Absolutely. We got that, and we can see the difference in all 3 of these gemstones. So basically what you'll see is magenta garnet comes in the spectrum. The rhodolite garnet gives you that traditional, more reddish pink color, more red than pink. And then you have your purple garnet, which is a very nice, beautiful grape jelly-like purple color. I love that color for what it is. And then you see your magenta garnet, which is right in the center, pink, purple, red, a hint of blue even,
Yeah.
to give you that magenta, that beautiful magenta.
Yeah.
Sometimes what happens is a lot of vendors try to push a regular rhodolite as a grape garnet or a magenta garnet and try to get more value out of them.
Yeah.
But if you really look at them right next to each other, you see the difference right there, and you will understand why there's so much more value for magenta garnet.
Yes, I agree.
And that's the case for why we cut gemstones, is because the rough material does not have the same kind of refraction and the brilliance, so you can't see inside of it as well as you can when you cut them.
Garnet is in the cubic crystal system, so we know that it can't have pleochroism. And so when you have a good saturated garnet, you get that color really throughout.
Absolutely. It's the best. It's a cutter's dream to cut garnets because you don't have to worry about the axis, you don't have to worry about pleochroism. You can just cut the gemstone for what it is. You can put the table where it needs to be, and the color is always going to be the same no matter how you look at it. Also, what happens is that because there's no pleochroism, the smaller gemstones with pleochroic gemstone, the smaller the gemstone gets, the more muddled the colors become. And it's very difficult to make a beautiful gemstone with muddled colors. Whereas with garnets, you have no worries about any of that. So it holds its own no matter how small or how large it is. It is what it is. So it's a very, very honest gemstone. What you see is what you get.
So I understand another thing that makes this Malawi Magenta Garnet special is that it has kind of a hidden aspect to its color. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So we discovered that as we were looking at these gemstones and different lighting, they actually shift from a beautiful, deeper purple, which is your grape spectrum, all the way down to a more reddish color rhodolite garnet. So the spectrum of lights it absorbs, shifts the color reflection, and it's just an incredible property that this gemstone has. So no matter where you're looking at it, it actually has a little unique character to it.
That's really cool, and we did bring a flashlight so we can kind of show you.
Yeah, let's check it out.
That. Okay, so here with the flashlight we have daylight on it.
And you can see those incredible purples coming out of that gemstone. The blue and purple really gets exaggerated when you hit it with a strong daylight.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have incandescent light on it.
Exactly, and you can see the more mauvey, more blush undertones that the warmer undertones that this gemstone also possesses. So it goes more towards your rhodolite garnet at this point.
And I mean, I think that's great because I think it's just really fun. It looks like you've changed jewelry, but you haven't.
Exactly. And I love the fact that, I don't know about you, but when you go to a different light setting, your mood changes. If you're going to a candlelight dinner, it's a different kind of atmosphere for you and your brain. And when you're out in the sunlight or when you're out with bright light, you're a different person, a different personality. And I love that the gemstones do that as well.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, a different personality for the gemstone.
There you go.
Okay, this was really exciting for me because it's not often that you get to see a newly discovered gemstone straight from the mine. So I think let's take a closer look. Okay, so what's even more exciting is that you can actually buy some of this magenta garnet. Obviously, there's not a lot because there's really just not a lot out there.
Not yet.
We have some faceted gems, some cabochons, and you can also get some beads. So make sure you check the link down in the description and get some if you're interested because there's really not much time for you to get it. Okay, thank you so much, Jaimeen. This has been so much fun. And guys, make sure you thank Jaimeen down in the comments and also let us know what your favorite type of garnet is. While you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you don't miss any future videos.
Thank you.